Next thing you know, Bob Menery turns around. It was him and his girlfriend. And I was like, no way. Didn't even say a word to the boys. I was just up on the table, walk over. He's like talking to the door guy.
Yeah.
As he's talking to the door guy, he just like turns and looks at me. He's grinning ear to ear as I'm like 15 feet away.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode, Bunker House Golf. And as you can see, we're just going to jump right into it. We got our Canada gear on. Big weekend.
Week, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks of great puck.
Oh my gosh. But fortunately, a couple of us were at the game last night. And you were at a lot of them. And amazing hockey. Won.
How did you have tickets for so many games?
Shout out to Rob and Brendan.
No way.
Yeah, Big Rob got in on the draw early. He got in on the early bird draw, so then we had tickets for all the games.
You had Moncton too, or just Halifax?
No, just Halifax.
Oh, that works though.
Well,
Yeah,
we
because you
don't
weren't going
need
to go to
Moncton.
Moncton.
Yeah, you don't need
anyway.
That would stink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Let's drive
shit.
2 hours.
Yeah. So we had a lot of tickets for the games. I mean, well, we only had 2 tickets for each game, but I was lucky enough because since Dad's a teacher, I was able to take his seat.
Yeah, school went back in, so
he was unable to come for the last few games.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, so it was
Tough for him.
That
Great for
sucks,
you.
man.
I
Great
just-
for you,
yeah,
yeah.
it's great for me because
Yeah.
I mean the seats were unbelievable. That I've never seen the Metro Center.
How
like
close were
that.
you in the last goal? Like, were you on that end?
I was literally about 20 feet away from the net. Like we were up in the right-hand corner behind the net, and it was just like I said when that pass went across crease, it was just like total blackout, and all of a sudden I was just hugging everybody around me.
Yeah, I hugged one of the camera guys.
I love that.
Yeah, it was.
Like we sat right in behind them, and he gave me like a fist pound. I was like, "This is amazing!" But I actually didn't have tickets, but I still got to see the game.
Yeah.
And but you
How
didn't.
did you manage that?
Well, we so we were sitting. We went downtown. I had some morning sessions. I think I taught 3 lessons, and then I messaged Josh. I said, "Let's go downtown. Let's go for a beer." And he was waiting to see if he could get tickets to the bronze medal game. That was it. Yeah. So, but then we ended up. So, long story short, right on that, we had a few beer. Went and seen Max Bougeot and his band, The Milestones. There, shout out, amazing. They played at the Fan Fest. Max, man, you killed that. That was amazing.
You rocked the house.
So good. What a voice.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
good.
It was really good.
But so we were sitting there. You got the text. You're like, "Hey, we got 3 tickets to the Skybox," which
Yeah.
was fortunate. Very good. Shout out to them too. Who was that? That was a Landry Auto.
Landry Auto Group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Ettinger.
Yeah, Matt Etcher. Yeah, beauty. Thanks for that, boys. That was a treat. We watched 8-7 overtime. I mean, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
that game was
wild.
that
That game was
was a
wild.
sneaky, crazy hockey
Yeah.
game as well.
I was watching it too, and like I watched all the games from home because
Big Dad out there.
big dad energy. But yeah, I just watched all the games from the house, and I was watching the first period of that game, and I was like, man, this game's kind of boring. I'm really not that into it. But then, oh my god, I kept watching it.
There was
and,
like 5 goals in like 3 minutes.
it was crazy.
It was
I think there
nuts.
was I think there was like 5 goals in like 6 minutes or something like that, just going back and forth. It
Yeah,
was
at the end
wild.
of the second. So we end up going in. We spend that whole game wicked. We had a couple beer, and then we made a decision to see if we could stay in the arena. And Josh was unsuccessful. He was the last. You were the basically like.
What were the
story
methods?
said.
What was the?
I went to where I know best. The shitter. It was hilarious. I was standing on the seat.
Come on.
Standing on the seat. Hid me because the door swung this way, so I was standing on the seat, head
I think
down
that's like the
low
most
enough.
obvious place to hide.
Dude, it was fucking wild because Dre was beside me doing the same thing. And Buddy pushed the door open. It didn't get Dre, but fucking got me. And I was like, fuck. And he was like, all right. He was like, come on now, you're gone. And I was like, okay. So I start like walking on out. He doesn't follow me out of the bathroom. And I was like, so I do a full lap around. And then I decide to try to go back up into the skybox. And I see the two ladies that were there, because I was in the skybox for a few games. And the two ladies are like, hey, you're back. Or they're letting people in already? I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay, awesome. Well, have fun. I was like, yeah. I make it around the corner. I start heading up the stairs. The first security guard that I see, he's just like, dude, what the fuck? I told you to get out of here. And I was like,
It was the same guy?
I was like, what, man? I have tickets to this game, too. I'm coming back. He was like, let me see them. And I was like, oh, my phone's dead. I don't know how I'm going to do. He's like, get out. Walks me out.
And then you're like the last guy who...
I was like the last guy. So they were like, we're not opening the doors until everybody's out. So the only people that are there is just guys who are doing cleaning garbage and this and that. And then I was fucking around for a while, and next thing you know, they walk me out, and then they throw me out the door. There's like 1,000 people outside waiting to get in. And then literally soon as I get out, you hear everyone go, finally! And then everyone starts coming.
Oh, no.
So that's why I had to wait 45 minutes to get into the building.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
And Neil, what was your method?
Oh man, I looked at you guys and I was like, are you guys going to the washroom or what were you going to do? And you kind of had a couple plays and you were like, I got a couple options. And I said, I want to hide in plain sight. That was my goal. So I went down and I went underneath the bleachers. Now, we walked around the rink 3 times trying to discuss, the 3 of us, what to do. But we realized that the 3 of us, we couldn't stay together because that was fucking obvious. So I went down underneath the bleachers and just chose.
How did you get underneath the bleachers?
I just went down and kind of started helping the guy pick up a couple pieces of garbage while I was on the phone. And then while I'm not technically on the phone, I started yelling at the phone and I was like, you think that I can get you in our box? I was like, there's 25 people that would love this ticket that may be a lot more money than you. And the guy just starts like looking at me and I'm just like looking at him. I'm like, you want some of this too? I'm not even talking to anyone at this point. I'm talking to a fucking cell phone that's off. So I go underneath, and I slide underneath, but the one place I chose to go under was where all the players were, and this is one of the best stories I'll ever have, is where the players were warming up. So they're all kicking the ball around, they're doing their sprints, they're on the bike, but Dard's only 5-10 feet away from me, rolling out on the roller, and he's hanging out, and I'm like, this is pretty cool, but I'm fitting in at this point. I've got about, like I said, how long, we probably had to survive a half hour. Yeah. And I'm probably 10 minutes in. I'm still on the phone. I'm laughing. I'm having fun. I actually end up striking a conversation with a guy because I read his lanyard, his credentials, which I did not have. Everyone there was wearing their credentials. And it was super cool. At one point, actually, Brad looked over and I was just like on the phone. And I was like, come on, man. I was like, let's go Canada. Come on. And he just like gave me like a head nod. I was like, that was pretty cool. But like, once again, I was holding myself enough that I kind of looked like a somebody, being a nobody. And then a girl comes up to me and she was like, hey, she's like, do you have your credentials? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm with a box upstairs, made up a lie, kind of went through it. She was like, oh, no worries. You just can't be directly in this area. I was like, okay. I was like, I just have another phone call to make. And I said, I'm trying to organize the new people coming in to tell them where to go. And I've got like 10 calls coming. She goes, okay, so just go over there. I was like, perfect. That works great. I survived another like 15 minutes. She then comes up to me again, the same girl, and she goes, so who are you with? And I just don't really know what to say, so I'm kind of letting her kind of be like, so I'm like, I'm with a box upstairs. I came down to get some privacy because the guys also said that I had to leave the rink and stuff like that, and I started like kind of going on my toes and kind of like talking. She believes it, but she says, are you with TSN at one point? And I was like, no. And then I was like, that was weird. I was like, why'd you ask me with TSN? Another lady came up to me, asked me her credentials. I got like 10 minutes to go now. Like, I could see the people starting to come in. I'm like, I got a little bit more time. She goes, excuse me. She goes, where are your credentials? And I was like, they're upstairs. I was like, I can go up and grab them for you. But that was kind of my play. I was like, I can go up and grab them for you. And then she'll, like, I'm going to leave and I'm not going to come back, right? But she doesn't ask. She goes, oh, it's okay. Are you with TSN? I'm with 6 different companies at this point. Like, I'm just like waiting. And everyone starts to come in the rink. And at this point, I'm still kind of in the players area. I'm not, but I am. There's an ambulance. I'm talking to some police officers. I'm trying to be a vibe and down there so no one like notices me. Anyways, everyone starts coming in the rink, and I'm like, all right, this is the final stage. It's like, I have to get past.
You did it.
I did it. I was like, this is the final stage. I have to get past the security guard. And I get on the phone again. I called you. I was like, I don't even care if you talk. You're talking me through the whole thing here. You're having a blast. You're like, this is ridiculous.
Well,
You're
because I'm just waiting in line like a normal person when you go into the hockey game. I just have my ticket and I'm just going to go.
I was sitting at my house with a dog, my dog in a beer in hand.
yeah. And I'm down there trying to pull one over the whole entire like Metro Center's or Scotiabank Center's eyes here. Anyways, I get right around the corner. I bust out, and I'm like, oh, and I have that like almost anxiety-free moment. I was like, I did it. And there's a hand that comes on my shoulder. And he's like, excuse me, sir. Can I see your credentials? And I just go, oh, I'm with TSN. And he just goes, no problem. Enjoy the game. So they handed me the fact that people with TSN were walking around with credentials is what I picked up on. And then I used it. And as soon as I got in the game, the best part of the story is my brother snuck in the back door through the fucking.
Yeah, he did the easy one. He
staff.
just completely slid in and then just walked along with the people.
Yeah, how did he get in? Like,
He signed the fake name at the staff door and
Yeah.
said he was serving beer, and then he just walked in. And what happened is we called each other. I was like, "You're not going to believe my story." He goes, "Did you sneak into the game too?" And I said, "Yeah." So we went online, found tickets that weren't sold, sat in behind up like just in the first level, like the lower bowl, enjoyed the entire fucking game, not from the nosebleeds, down like low on some good seats that didn't sell, and we had a blast for free.
that's wild.
For free.
That's wild.
Pretty cool though. But honestly, I would have done it. I mean, you had to have a little guts to go for it. I kind of went through it. I didn't actually think I was going to succeed. So like I was kind of in the moment as it was going. But the game itself, I'm so happy I did it, is because it truly was like
Oh, that was 100%. You'll never get that experience at the Metro Center.
Ever again.
I've never experienced. I mean, I went to the USA game too before.
That's what I was gonna say. It was like,
And
how was the Canada USA game? Like that game was so
the
intense.
crazy thing
that
is,
game was the most intense out
I
of the.
think, yeah.
I
So
think out of the tournament.
out of both the games I went to, I mean, nothing in a sense is going to beat a golden goal in overtime
Yeah,
to win it, but nothing also beats a classic rivalry of U.S. and Canada in an elimination game. And when they went down 2 goals right off the start, I was like, oh shit. All right.
They came out so bad though. They
Yeah,
came
were
out so flat.
Like they were, but I think they were nervous because that building was rocking.
Oh,
like
I couldn't
it was.
imagine. Like the atmosphere
it
in there
was
must have been unbelievable.
Yeah, like it was definitely. I would say it was louder towards the middle of the game of the U.S. Whereas like
Well, that's where everything was happening.
no, the way I look at it is because everybody in that rink was hungover from the U.S. win, and then they played the game back-to-back days, so then nobody had time to recover, so everybody's voices are gone. So you're in the finals, but as the game went on, and it started to. I mean, we got the 2 goals, went up, and then I found it to get a little quiet there in the second period, like towards the end, started the third, and that's when Czechnia took advantage of it, scored 2 again, and then I was like, oh shit, here we go, like this is gonna be wild. And then
It was too fast. It was like 53 seconds.
oh yeah, it was back to
quick.
back, and that just like all of a sudden everybody was like in the building was like, okay, shit, all right, whoa, we can't lose this game right now, and then
I kind of thought they were going to.
Well, they
I like
they
that.
almost
Well,
did.
you could almost see it, like from me when I was watching on TV. Like they scored 2 goals because everyone knows 2-goal lead's the worst lead in hockey.
3-1 lead, always.
So, like after they tied it up, and it was so quiet. It was so like it was bad, and it was gonna go one of 2 ways. It was either gonna go, we're gonna stay quiet the rest of the game, or we're gonna get them going. And the answer from the crowd was phenomenal. Like it was just like after they tied it up, you could hear it on the TV how much louder it got, and they're like, just like, let's go boys, we can do this.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, the energy was.
So
Yeah.
you weren't successful getting in the game, but you chose a different path last night.
Yeah, I ended up downtown was electric.
Of course.
It was insane. Yeah, so I went.
We had the reservations. That was a good backup though, because I knew we had the reservations if we did. So we had reservations for all the boys. If I didn't have this plan that had success, so like we tried it, and if the back burner like play was that all of us were gonna go sit in a bar and watch it. So it was gonna be fun either way.
Yeah, and then I ended up didn't even going to the reservation. I was like walking, and I had an Instagram story of me up in the box, and Cody Locke reaches out to me and was like, no way, you're back in Halley? I'm like, where are you? He's like, I don't know, at Buck something. And I was like, I'll see you in a minute. He was over at Buck Uglies. I went in there, place was jammed, rocking. It was nuts. DJ going.
I didn't even know that was a place.
No, it's the old East Side Mario's.
It was crazy. So I went there, partied, like started partying with Cody. Next thing you know, he gets a hotel room. We go to his hotel room, and ridiculous. We check into the hotel room. We don't even stay for 5 minutes. We leave, rip right out of there. And we're like, casino? I'm like,
Of course.
yeah, straight to the casino. I hit the blackjack table. I'm with all the USA team. All the US team is there, and they're just firing, getting into it. Cody can't get a seat at the table, so he's just like, pew, ducks off into the poker room. I'm like, all right, see you later for the night.
Yeah, he'll get lost.
he's
Yeah,
gone.
that's see you
He's
later.
in there for the whole night.
It's easy to get lost in there.
Oh, yeah.
No, but yeah, that's just.
I sit there and gamble my money away.
Of course.
And then I forget where I head after that. I got in at like 5:30 this morning. To the woman's place, actually.
Yikes.
She works in like a half hour. I'm like, "Hi, can you come get the door?"
But he's shivering on the step.
Doghouse.
Literally.
Doghouse.
She just runs down, opens the door, and then goes back up. Doesn't say a word to me, just unlocks the door. And I was just like, oh, it's unlocked. And I come out, oh, it just wasn't good. And I was just a mess.
You? No.
Never.
Oh,
No.
never. You were
Never.
sturdy. You were
Yeah.
sturdy the whole time.
Yeah.
She
Well,
didn't. Yeah.
If your house is a mess, you can check out RenoWorx. Have that next project in your mind, but don't know where to start? These guys will bring it to reality. They'll work with you to create your vision and bring it to real life. That next project you've kind of been putting off and that you don't want to start it now. Type in halifaxrenoworx.ca, click to get a quote, work with their professionals, and get started ASAP. Now is the time to start that next project, whether it's a home addition, a new deck, or a renovation. See our website, go to our sponsors page, or see the link below. Halifax RenoWorx.
I think I found the tolerance to crack beers.
I don't think you can.
I didn't think you could either.
Something in them.
I know there's something in them,
so
but like I
strong.
don't know.
Crazy.
You literally have like 2, maybe 3, and you're just fucking in one. You're
doesn't make
cross-eyed.
sense.
And I'm like, if I can see, if you go to a Moose game, and if I ever see anybody put back more than 5, I'm impressed. I'm like,
Man, no, the Doing It Deadly or the lacrosse games. Though you gotta watch it because it's 4 quarters.
yeah.
I've only gone to one lacrosse game, and I don't remember a lot of the fourth quarter. And I think I had like 3 beers.
It even when you're drinking it in the same size cup as this, and it's just, it tastes heavy.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what. I always just ask
does,
for
but
the
it
Bud
doesn't.
Lights.
Yeah, it's the Bud Lights. It's not because that would actually be. I was on the Keats. Maybe that's it.
I was like,
that's it.
every time I ask for Bud Light, can I
That's
get
a
a
smart-
Bud Light?
Reverse to the story, though, for anyone who don't know what crack beers are, is they're the beers inside the Scotiabank Arena in
Metro
Halifax.
Center.
They're-
Well, you're going to call it the Metro Center for your whole life.
Yeah,
and so
it's the
am I,
Scotiabank
but it's the Scotiabank Center. If we're talking about if you want to actually look up the arena name, well, you know what? The Metro Center probably comes up.
Yeah, probably still. Comes.
Next thing you know, someone contacts us. You need to take that down.
Yeah.
you're saying that we're putting crack in our beers.
It's not actual crack. It's just they're so strong, it doesn't make sense.
And no one has discovered the reasoning behind it. But if you ask anyone who goes to any of those games,
There's a few theories.
Thunderbird,
It's something in the beers. There's some in the air they're pumping in there. I don't know what
Literally
it is.
anybody in Halifax, they know exactly what
you-
we're talking about
yeah,
right now.
Is the crack beers.
Yeah.
There's only one place to go for the crack beers. And
but you're right, you can't hammer them.
no,
Like
no
you
chance.
don't even drink them that fast. Do you know what I mean? Like you actually.
No, I sit there. That's what I mean. That's like if I see someone, because usually you stack your cup when you're done. And if I see somebody with 5 or more, I'm like,
I crushed.
damn.
I
I'm
crushed
like,
5 during the.
Yeah,
Do you need to have a conversation? Like, do you need to book you a therapy
Yeah,
appointment?
I'm like, wow, like he's putting them back.
But he had a rough week.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, listen, I'm gonna have a couple extra crack beers tonight. I'm gonna yell at the ice, and we're gonna go from there.
Oh, I definitely yelled at that ice. I was standing up. I mean, I had people behind me telling me to sit down. I was like, it's a gold medal hockey game, and Canada's playing in it. I'm not sitting down. There's no chance. Like, I'm into this game.
I remember messaging you guys throughout the USA game, and you were at it. And I remember like halfway through the second period, it was like, "How you making it, Ryan?" It's like I lost my voice already. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, no, it was gone, but I kept yelling, so there's just nothing coming out. And
I thought at some point that you were gonna message today and be like, "We gotta do this like tomorrow or the next day because I can't speak." And the same goes for you too. I didn't hear from you until like 4 o'clock today or at all.
I'm surprised Gracie's
yeah,
still awake.
that's why he's sitting over there.
Struggling. I'm struggling.
Yeah, so but you're also on a little bit of a struggle bus down that you just went to a Finns and Pats game.
I did.
Down there. That was pretty
You're
cool.
on a little stretch right now, aren't you?
I am. I leave for Florida in like 6
Yeah,
days.
Get off of it. Oh my god.
That's all right.
Yeah.
How did you like that? But anyway, that's it. Yeah.
First, tell us a little bit about you. So went down to New England.
Yes.
To the Pats and Dolphins game. Fins up.
Fins up.
Yeah.
Pats took 'em to the
Can't spell Dolphins without the L.
We were actually doing great, and then Teddy Bridgewater hurt his hand, and it was like, come on, we got Tua blow in there. That just like Tua's out. And that's what Joe thinks of the Dolphins. Oh my god!
I'm gonna definitely clip that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clip that 3 seconds. I'm gonna turn the volume up as loud as I can.
You'll just have to zoom onto my face after because I'm just like. You'll have to clip on everyone's face. Everyone just stopped.
Excuse me.
I looked at you because I thought the mic was like.
Literally. That's why I was sitting here. I was just like, what was that?
Excuse me. I had a heavy supper.
Sorry, the mom made meatloaf.
I can't breathe.
Okay.
So you're at the Finns Dolphins Pats game.
Oh my god. So I'm there. I'm wearing a Finns jersey, not the arena to be in. I think the only worse arena than there would probably be Buffalo to wear an opposing team jersey. Although there was a lot of Dolphins jerseys, but
Tough season for the Pats though.
Yeah, I was getting ripped and shredded. I was like laughing my ass off. Everyone's like walking by. They're like, better luck next year, fucking loser. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you just tied our record. I was like, you're now 500. I was like, what are you going on about? See you in the wild card, nerds. Like, what the fuck?
I was like, learn the stand.
Yeah.
Like, look at the standings.
Everyone was ripping me. Some guy shoved me. And so I had a Tyreek Hill jersey on. Some guy shoved me, and he's like, Tyreek Hill beats his kids. I look back, I was like, so do I. It was just like, get me quick on your toes.
Josh has no kids. Disclaimer.
Josh doesn't beat his kids. Josh beats Tyreek's kids too.
Yeah, it was like
But before the game, you went down for 2 days, 2, 3, 3.
three. I was kind of last minute. Hopped in with my boy Dre and Jordell.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah. How was the
How
whole
was the hotel
experience?
stay? How about after that first day? First trip?
Oh, the first day. So we were out in fucking. So I got asked last minute to go because somebody dropped out. And
Oh, you're that friend. I'm just kidding.
literally, no.
Ask Josh. Should we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's definitely gonna be wearing a Dolphins jersey.
Oh, 100%.
But so we go, and as we're driving there, I see Boston to the left, and we take a right. And I'm like, well, where are we going? I was like, you missed the Boston sign. He's like, oh, we're not staying in Boston. We're in Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Yeah, the stadium's well outside the city.
No.
Oh,
the stadium's in Foxborough.
Yeah.
Marlborough's up in the fucking sticks.
Why did they get-
That's what I said. We pull in at some old grungy motel. Come in, there's like black mold on the window.
More mold stories? Keep going.
Dude, I walk in, I was just like, and I can't say anything because I'm like,
You're the last
Are we now
guy
saying
invited.
that
like I just
the
got
mold shows
invited.
up, or does Josh bring the mold?
This guy's got a moldy ass. So
Josh is black mold.
we walk in, and I'm just like, and I look over at Jordell, and Jordell's like, we're not staying in this hole. And I was like, thank fuck somebody's agreeing with me. I was like, dude, I'm ready to get an Uber and I'll get a hotel downtown Boston if you guys want to stay here. Next thing you know, they're all like, well, we booked it. And I was like, we need to get a refund now. And they're like, oh, do you think you'll be able to find like a hotel in Boston? I was like, I'll find one in 2 minutes. I was like, bing, bang, boom, fucking Courtyard Marriott downtown. I was like, we zip into Boston, we get there, and just start getting into one. And it was
As
just
you
a
would.
straight 3-day party.
I mean, Boston's just like an American version of Halifax.
That's
And I
okay.
understand that the maintenance guy had to come up to your room.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. I clogged the shitter the first morning we're there.
Of course.
And then I was like, shit. I was like, the water's just rising. I'm like,
Oh, there's no more panic in the world when the
And
water
I'm like,
starts to rise and you kind of look around. There's no like you kind of look around and you don't see
No,
the
then when
plunger.
it keeps rising, you're like, okay, it's going to stop. Then it keeps going, you're like,
the best thing, we got a clip to the video because I have a video of this guy coming in. A clip to the video of Buddy coming in. He walks in. He starts going at it. He goes, the easy one. You have to clip to the fucking video. The video's hysterical. I'm now dying laughing. Easy one. An easy one. I lost it.
that's such a Josh crazy thing to do.
Oh, so
I was like, I can do it. He's like, no, where's it at? And he walks right in.
like a man with
He
fine
knows his
silver
job.
armor. Yeah, he's like, this is my job and I will handle this. And you're like, you don't want to. You're like, I know that you do this on a regular basis, but this ain't no regular
I just
basis.
didn't say a word to me when we were leaving. We were checking out. I saw him again. He was coming out the door. I was like, take care. Happy New Year. He just looked at me. He's like,
Who are you?
just like,
I unclogged
Just did.
18 shitters this past week.
Oh man, so did you hit up any bars while you were down there, like
We
before
did.
or after?
We did. We hit up a bunch of bars.
Shout out to the Dirty Nellies of Boston.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, show to
What?
journalists. That was cool. I seen that.
Really
yeah.
cool. Actually, I went to a spot called the Bell. I think it was the Bell in Hand.
Oh yeah, it was like the oldest.
Oldest
yeah.
bar in America.
Oh, that's
Established in
sick.
1795.
That's sick.
That's wild.
That's so cool.
I
Dude.
bet you
super
their
cool.
beer tastes crisp.
Expensive as shit too.
Yeah,
You
probably.
would think like, oh, in America, like, cheaper alcohol. No, I walked in, they were like $11 pints, American. I was like,
Yikes.
And the American beer is lighter too.
yeah. I
But if
went
you're
in,
going to
it
the
was-
oldest bar,
it was cool. We only went in for like a couple.
Well, that's what everyone probably does.
Yeah,
I don't
and
think there's
it was
peop-
place was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we walk over and we see Dirty Nellies. We just got
That's
fired
unreal.
on.
You guys all
So-
took pictures like.
So we fire in, go in there for a pint. Yeah, yeah. And then we went to the Pats game, and then when we're walking out, there's a bunch of bars and stuff right out front of the arena. I guess they call it like Patriots Place, and there's just like a ton of different shops and pizza spots and bars. So we're walking in this spot called Scorpion Bar, and it's packed.
Scorpion bar.
That's
Yeah.
intense.
I'm headed into the Scorpion Bar, so we sit there, we get a table, and
Is
place
there
is
scorpions?
crazy. Yeah. Fucking Joe.
Everywhere.
It was we're sitting there, and I said it on the way up because I've been a huge Bob Menery fan,
Oh,
and
obviously.
I said it on the way up. I've been like a day one.
Well, because you know what
he's
where
a,
he's at.
he's a
where he-
Boston.
Well, he's always
originally from Boston. He goes
around
to the Pats
Boston. Yeah,
games
he
all
always
the
at the
time.
Pats. Yeah.
Always goes to the Pats game. So like I'm just sitting there. Next thing you know, I kind of look up and I see this girl, and I'm like, where do I know her from? And I was like, oh shit, that's like Bob Menery's girl. And next thing you know, Bob Menery turns around. It was him and his girlfriend. And I was like, no way. Didn't even say a word to the boys. I was just up on the table, walk over. He's like talking to the door guy.
Yeah.
As he's talking to the door guy, he just like turns and looks at me. He's grinning ear to ear as I'm like 15 feet away. He already knows I'm just coming over like, hey, what's up? And I just walk over to him, I was just like, hey man, like, nice to meet you, big fan, da da da. Like, I had a good chat with him off
Yeah.
the start, and then he was just like, yeah, take care, blah blah blah. And then we both kind of separated, did our own thing. And then...
Which is a cool experience in its own right there. Just be like,
Yeah,
what's
just
up?
meeting the guy.
It was real natural,
Just
real
saying
cool.
hello to the dude,
exactly,
yeah.
and that's all it was. And then I look at my phone and my Snapchat memory, and I bought his gear, like Ripper Magoo's hat and this sweater.
Clip the photo now.
Yeah. This Slug and Brew sweater. Anyways, I got some gear, and it was like 3 years ago today, and I was just like,
Oh, on the day.
on the day,
that's,
and I was just
that's
like,
cool.
That's wild.
so
That's
I walk, I see him over at the bar, and he's kind of standing by himself, and he's like looking around. I was like, I just got up again, I walk over. I was like, hey man, sorry to bother you, but I gotta show you this. I was like, this was 3 years ago today I bought, and he just like, before I even finish, he just pulls me in and gives me a hug.
That's
And it
unreal.
was just like, that's so sick, bro. And as I'm having like my Snapchat, like he looks down, my phone is already open
Yeah.
with Snapchat. He just grabs my phone out of my hand.
The motherfucking goat has entered the house in New England, baby. The motherfucking goat from Nova Scotia. Good fucking man right here.
We separate our ways. He goes, he's doing his own thing at his own table. We're sitting at ours. Next thing you know, he's getting ready to leave. This is after like an hour or so. He's getting ready to leave. He comes over to our table, comes up behind me over to our table. He's just like, hey, bud, just want to say, like, pleasure meeting you. Like, you're a real cool dude.
Unreal.
That's unreal.
Chatted about this podcast and stuff with him.
But it's so cool for you, yeah, because like, yeah, shout out to fucking Bob.
Menery, it'd be
Yeah.
crazy if you see this.
But it's cool for you because is like that instance is like you were one of like years ago is like when Bob wasn't Bob, you were one of the supporters of him. So that means a lot. Well, one, that means a lot to him, but for you to even think like, hey, like this Snapchat memory, this is 3 years ago, this is tons of years ago, but like this is the first gear that he kind of like threw out, and like this is the funny stuff. Like this is what kind of produced him and kind of sent him in the direction that he was going in. Is guys like you buying that gear and supporting him at that time in his career, right? So like when he sees that, he loves that because you're not just someone who says, I just recently know who Bob is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up and say hi to him now. It's like, no, you know him. You know about him. You've been following his stuff for years now. So it's a really cool experience on your side.
Big time. When I put it on my Snapchat story, a bunch of the boys like back home were like, "No way," because they all knew how much. I used to show the boys all the time. You guys, I'd be sending the videos to everyone. I'd be like, "You gotta listen to this one. Watch this one." So they were just like, "Man, that's so wild. You ran into Bob Menery. Like that's crazy."
Yeah.
It was pretty. It made
That's
that was
awesome.
like that was our last day of the trip. So like that just like made the trip like that much better. And then we ended up getting piled that night.
So, I mean, you got to celebrate. You just saw Bob. Like,
You
You got to celebrate the way he'd want you to.
yeah.
Yeah, I got banged up. And then
So just like every other weekend.
nothing's new. And that's wild. And then had a terrible drive back. I sat in the middle
Ooh.
That's rough.
for 12 hours.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's
Yeah.
gonna hurt.
But if you're in the middle, you can see everything.
But is that
There's
really
not
worth
much
the
to see.
discomfort?
There is.
Driving through
No,
Maine is like
driving through Maine is-
torture.
It's rough.
Terrible.
It's just a highway that's like this
A god awful
and just
state.
trees. It's just,
Literally.
I wonder if we're going to see a moose. Nope.
Man, I drove through Maine both ways. I tell you, I drove down. I went to Connecticut early this summer, went down through Bangor, and then also went the Quebec route and went like through the U.S. up to Quebec. Really have never driven through it. You're right. There's nothing there. I didn't know.
Oh, there's nothing in
that's the
Maine.
point. Yeah, there's
Like, we used to...
Yeah.
So, when I was working with Body Track and doing that stuff, we did a couple of the East Coast tours down the United States. And it's the worst. You drive through Maine, and it's such a terrible experience. It feels like you're there for 18 hours. But then, like, once you get through Maine, it's like, now you start going through. It's like state.
Yeah, that's the other thing,
It gets a lot
Maine's
more.
a big state
Yeah.
too.
I
So
never
it's,
got down
Big
there.
state, yeah.
I only went to Maine. I only went to Connecticut.
Yeah.
I never even got down lower than that. I didn't even get to the fun side of the experience. I literally drove through Maine for like 14 hours just driving around Maine, just thinking, oh, this place, like, what's so bad about this place? No, there's nothing
Honestly?
bad about it. There's just nothing fucking
No,
there.
the drive through Maine reminds me of the drive from Moncton to Fredericton. Where there's just nothing there.
How long is that drive from Moncton to Fredericton? 2 hours? 2.5?
14 hours. Oh no, wait, it's like an hour and a half.
But it feels like 14
It
hours.
feels like 14 hours.
That highway provides nothing. The only thing it provides is those little inlets on the left side when you're driving down, just to see if you slow down so nobody cops are there. That's it. Yeah. There's nothing to be seen between those 2.5 hours.
Sick and tired of just sucking at sports betting? Or you want to educate yourself more on who to not ever play again in fantasy sports? Check out Mayo Media Network. You can head over to our website, click the sponsors page, or you can find it in the link below. Let's get those bets cashed in, and let's make sure those guys don't get off the bench ever again. Head over to Mayo Media Network. We'll see you there.
So then you come back, you get absolutely buckled here. So you're going to take a breather next
No.
month or two? No?
Yeah, no, I am gonna slow down. I was thinking about doing dry Jan, but I'd leave for Florida in a few days.
How long are you going to Florida for?
Undecided.
He might
Wait,
never come back.
baby.
You might be down there when the fucking PGA Tour gets there in March or whatever.
I've done it the last 2 years. I did
Yeah.
Florida. I did the whole Florida swing.
Yeah.
It's
Well, they're
wicked.
they're in Hawaii now, and then
Technically, it's the new season, even though it's not technically the new season anymore. But this is like the beginning of the new season.
I agree, though. Like, yes, there's the wraparound part of the first 5 weeks. So this is the time of year where golf starts. Moving forward, golf starts now. Where they're in Hawaii, they go to California, they make a couple.
All the new
tournaments
gear is
over.
coming out.
Yeah.
Like it's a new season.
That to me is the kicker right
Yeah.
there. Once you start seeing the gear come out, that's when we're hitting the golf
Yeah,
season.
every January and February is really fun because of the new gear. Because that's the start of the year. Everyone gets out. Everyone gets hype. The videos start coming out and going through it. It's like, I mean, we've already seen some releases, and we're not going to start talking about stuff, but I've seen some releases, and I've also seen stuff come through the shop, and I've got my hands on it already. A lot of the new stuff looks amazing. It does. Looks incredible.
Yeah, every company makes good stuff now.
Yeah, they do. They make great stuff. But, so, what is it? Out of the 52 weeks in a year, I think the PGA Tour has, I think it's 47 or 48 of those weeks are kind of tournaments. I mean, that's a pretty busy schedule. But if you were going to pick, if we were going to pick a guy, what are you going to go with? If you had a guy, so let's go FedEx Cup rankings.
Yeah.
Who is your guy this season? Let's put a little friendly
Have a
wager on it.
Yeah. What do you want to make that?
I don't know.
We'll make a wager here in a minute. I'm thinking I have a long shot that I think is actually going to be real.
I'm going
good
with a
this-
long shot.
You're going with a long shot?
I'm going with a long shot. I'm going for my dark horse.
Is that just because you want him to do
I want him to do well,
Oh,
but I think it's fun too. I think he is actually gonna have a good year.
yeah. But from FedEx Cup standings, it's out of the four of us, whoever is the lowest will play a round of golf. We'll throw it on YouTube, and let's put them in a dress, a woman's
Nice.
dress.
A hot pink score.
Hot
Oh,
pace
hot pink score. I
Hot
like
pink
that.
score.
100%.
That might be my everyday. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you want?
And
Yeah,
count-
that might be my all-time low, and then I might just pick that up and you
With
catch
no
me. This.
knickers on it.
So losers taking on the hot pink score. Where are we going? What's your pick?
Ricky Fowler.
Oh, Ricky Fowler.
Ricky Fowler's coming off, obviously.
7 years of not
Like,
playing.
not-
7 years of
I
not
think- you wait, everyone's just like, what the fuck? Ricky
I think he's
Fowler?
gonna. I actually genuinely think Ricky's gonna win this year.
I think he has a win him this year.
I think he's gonna win this
think
year.
he's
That's
just
a
gonna have
bold call
That
for
is
the
a bold
FedEx
call.
Cups, though. For the
We'll
FedEx
see.
Cup.
You know
We'll
what?
see. I like long shots.
I like it. I like it.
underdogs.
I
I'm
love
here for it.
everything about it, and actually, if it comes true, I actually hope you win.
I actually might go put a bet on it just because.
Is there any
Oh,
like?
yeah.
Is there any like?
Restrictions?
Like, what if someone we pick goes to the Lib Tour? What happens then?
Oh no, that's
That's a risk you're willing to take with your
Is it?
pick.
You know
Okay.
what?
That-
He's not going anywhere.
No, I don't think Ricky won't.
No,
He made
Ricky.
a statement. He's not going anywhere.
No,
Him,
you're
JT,
good with
Spieth,
Ricky.
Those boys are
You're good with it, yeah.
Want to hear my dark horse?
You can't pick the reigning FedEx Cup champion.
No, of
I'm
course
just-
not.
Okay, that's just that's a.
I got a good pick. I think he's actually gonna have a good year. I love the guy, Sahith Theegala.
I like the goal. I actually really do.
I love the way he plays. He plays so well.
I think he's
this
gonna,
guy was like
I think he's
top of so many leaderboards. Didn't win. He's gonna win a few times. He's gonna have a good year.
He's gonna win something big this year.
Yeah.
I don't know what event, but it will be a big one. I do.
You know what? He has such an amazing game.
He's so consistent.
His consistency is the crazy thing. He's always the top of the board.
Yeah.
He just can't be, but where he loses his consistency is when he's running down the line.
Yeah, but that's with everyone.
Well,
you
no,
learn to overcome
exactly. It's going to take one win for him to get that, and I think once he gets
look at
that,
Scotty Sheffield last year.
well, that's what I mean. Once he gets that, I think he'll turn into a very, very heavyweight golfer.
I have mine, but I have one that I really want.
I bet you're thinking Tony Finau, aren't you?
No, but I want you to go first, just in case you take him.
I'm going with this guy because I've always loved his game, always from day one, and I really want him to do well this year. Jordan Spieth.
I love Jordan Spieth. I love Jordan Spieth.
I love.
See that shot, that flop shot he hit yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. That was disgusting. Like, this is what I mean. It's like,
so
honestly, I haven't watched any golf in the last little bit. I've been so zoned into hockey.
Interested in seeing that shot? Clip it. Yeah.
if any of us, I would have shanked him across the
No,
green.
if any of us did that, we'd go straight under it. It wouldn't go anywhere, or it'd be 100 yards away.
I have a video at the Arnie Palmer. I have a video at the Arnie Palmer of, we could totally toss that in right now. I'm like 2 feet away from Spieth, going up and down from like, he's on the other side of a bunker beside a tree. Oh, yeah, we're clipping the video. I got it. It's crisp. He goes up and down. He hits this flopper 20 feet.
Nice shot, Jordan.
That's what I mean.
I love Jordan Spieth. I love Jordan Spieth.
Jordan Spieth's game, and I just miss him on the tour.
Yeah,
I
was
know
my
he
favorite.
can be back up there, and he was my favorite. Like, when he came onto that scene, people were talking Tiger stuff about him.
Yeah, he was my favorite player for the longest time until JT. JT is now just my guy.
I agree with you. Justin Thomas is
he's just one of the guys. He's just like you watch him
he's my
play, and
favorite
he's just so chill.
100%.
He's so relaxed. He's one of the boys.
So you can't say your favorite player is Tiger Woods. It's because if you're a golf fan at all times, Tiger Woods is a god, and he is my hero.
Course, of
So
course.
he's like, so who's your favorite player? It's Tiger Woods. Shut the fuck. Why do you even ask that?
Everyone wants Tiger.
In the modern game, Justin Thomas is my favorite player. It's because there's two things that are
So many
amazing about
shots.
it. That's one
Right?
of them.
So
He
many
has
shots.
So many shots in the repertoire that he is unbelievably consistent with the movement of the ball, which is like next level. Where
So good.
he turns it on and off, and he just goes laser beams, cuts, laser beams, like just like steady golf. And then he gets himself in a situation, and the situation calls for something just a little bit outrageous, kind of like a Tiger-like feel. And as we know, the relationship between Tiger and Justin have been getting stronger each and every year, because Tiger says that he's like a little brother you have never had, and then Charlie and
Charlie and Justin
Are
Oh
so
yeah, they're
close,
like
too.
glued together.
So, but like if you're
Talk
around,
about the 18th hole
Yeah.
with the players where he hits a huge swing and hook.
and where do we see that before?
Tiger.
Woods hitting the iron. But that he is definitely my best. He's the best, man. My pick for this year though is the newcomer. I think that he's gonna have an amazing year on tour. I think Tom Kim.
Oh yeah,
I think
Tom
he's
Kim's
got
going to
some-
do so good.
I
Tom Kim,
think he's gonna have a great year. He's gonna play in a lot of events.
Yeah.
yeah,
'cause
Tom Kim's
that's
going to
just-
do well.
Kim Tom.
He's a great
So
he's a
he's
great
got
dude
2
too.
first
Watching
names.
him
Yeah.
play, like just listen to him, great.
yes, dude. What? Yeah, but like if Tom,
Some
if
could argue you
Tom,
have 2 first names.
A boy and a girl's name.
It's a little mixed up.
It's pretty cool. I have 4 names.
Do you actually?
Yeah, 2 middle names.
I did not know
Both
that.
grandfathers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's a mouthful. Joshua, Joseph, William, Gracie.
Rolls off the tongue though.
It does, nice.
Rolls off the tongue.
It does. Yeah, it's not like
Someone's now going to steal your identity.
Yeah. Sophisticated.
sophisticated. Doesn't
Take
know
all
the
my debt
spelling.
away from me.
Please, yeah. I would love for someone to steal my identity. You'd be fucked.
Love that Tom Kim pick.
Thank
He's
you.
so
But,
good.
so I was watching the golf, and of course, like in the world of golf, like I watch basically every tournament. I'm always recapping and watching one. I just love it, but I love the media side of it as well. But Tom Kim and Jordan Spieth, apparently, have become really,
Great
really close
friends.
friends.
It's
He had
Christmas.
Thanksgiving
Or-
or,
no, it was
or Christmas. Yeah, sorry.
He
was this,
spent Tom Kim went to
Christmas.
Jordan Spieth's like house and
really?
spent Christmas with his
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
because Tom, of course, is like he's Tom is like, one, he seems to be the type of guy that a lot of people like.
Yeah. Well, did you see the shot yesterday? He holed out for eagle from the fairway, and he just turns the camera like, "Did you get that on camera?"
And he's just a beauty, right?
Yeah, he's
just
a
good guy.
beauty.
But apparently he went back for like third or fourth during Christmas dinner.
I'm gonna do an honorable mention here. I bet Max Homa is gonna have a good year too.
You know what? Yes, Max Homa is only going to do better. For the
Yeah.
next about 5 years, we're going to see a lot of Max Homa, for sure. But get some sleep tonight. Canada game was wild.
Yeah.
Congrats on the gold, boys. Yeah.
Many congrats.
Made us proud.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Do you want
Made us
to
proud.
straight?
It's never gonna happen. Well, I hope.
Yeah.
Maybe it's down the road
I
or
mean,
something.
And apparently we're adopting Connor Bedard according to that.
According to that video clip, Connor Bedard, you're now ours, buddy. You're welcome back anytime at the city. And honestly, yeah, thank you for that team. Thank you for that experience, because that was one hell of 2 weeks here in the city.
Man, that was something else. Like, out of body experience for you, especially seeing all those games. What was cool though is that they had since what happened is they had the World Juniors, of course, in August, and then I don't know. I didn't actually know this this as much as a lot of people thought it was more like out to the public. Is that the Halifax and Moncton only came in to like save. Like they weren't supposed to
Yeah,
have
it was supposed to be in Russia.
Yeah. Like I didn't know that
Yeah.
until I was in the championship game, and then
Yeah, it was supposed to be in Russia,
had
and then
no
once they
idea
started
about
the
that.
war,
Yeah,
they stripped them of the.
the
Rights.
rights. So then
Halifax and Moncton stepped up, and that's why we got it.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
I found out by the
didn't know that.
I found out by
and
the
then
cameraman.
20 years to the on the day to the last time we had it here, because it was
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
2003.
And now they're saying they're going to try to get it back here. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
As soon as they can.
the players were saying it all through any interview you look at, they're all talking about how they're praising the city and saying
talk
how.
about Connor Bedard, his interview
yeah.
last
Yeah,
night.
I
We're like,
loved
I don't
that.
want to talk about me.
No,
We're
I
talking
loved
about
it. I
we're
loved
talking about
it.
the
I
team. That
loved
was
it.
awesome.
That was some class from Connor,
That's
and
so good.
like I said, thank you for those that that was just awesome. And anybody else that was at those games, they know the exact feeling I'm feeling right now. Because if you're a hockey fan and you got to watch that,
Hungover.
yeah, exactly, hungover and needing bed.
Yeah, we're actually sorry that this exact podcast didn't come out the day we're shooting it, because a lot of people would be lying on their couch just staring at the TV watching it. Be good content. But thank you, Canada, for providing us in Halifax with that experience. And we will see you next time on the Bunker House Golf podcast.
Toodaloo.
See ya.
Cheers.